What if the chains that bound you were the very thing that taught you how to fly? If Azira could change her story from slave to queen by shifting her mindset, what's stopping you? Here is a mindset folktale that will awaken your inner phoenix. The slave girl who learned to think like a queen. Long ago, in a kingdom not marked by gold, but by chains, there lived a young slave girl named Azira. She was born into bondage. Her name meant burden, and every day she carried the weight of a world that told her she was nothing more than property. She cleaned floors that would never welcome her footsteps. She served meals she was never invited to taste. And she listened to the laughter of royalty who never once called her by name. But Azira had a secret. Each night she would whisper stories to the stars, stories of a girl who would one day walk free, a girl who would sit on thrones instead of scrubbing them, a girl whose mind would be her crown and whose hope would be her fire. One day, a visiting queen arrived from another land. She noticed something different about Azira, the way her eyes didn't bow, even when her body did. The queen asked her, "Child, why do you carry yourself like a crown sits on your head?" Azira replied, "Because in my mind, it always has. They may own my hands, but my thoughts are my own, and in them I've already escaped." The queen paused, then smiled. "You are not a slave," she whispered. "You're simply a queen still hidden in plain sight." Moved by her spirit, the queen purchased Azira's freedom and took her home, not as a servant, but as a student. In time, Azira would become a teacher, then a leader, and then, as prophecy would have it, she would return to the land that enslaved her, not to serve, but to reign. You see, not every story ends in royalty, but every rise begins in the mind. Yes, you heard me right. Moral lesson. You are not what the world calls you. You are what you believe about yourself. Your mindset is your first rebellion, your first freedom, and your first throne. Our affirmations is, my thoughts are my power. My hope is my crown. I rise, not because I am allowed, but because I believe I can. Now, even if you feel stuck, silenced, or unseen, your rise has already begun. It begins the moment you choose to believe in something higher, deeper, and truer than your circumstance. You do not need permission to shift your mindset. You only need to remember your worth. Tools and themes for growth are 1.